Hello, everyone. Does everyone here see me well? All right, so thank you very much for joining today. This is the first experience in 12 years, after 12 years of being here on YouTube. I decided to make this experiment and use current technology to join and connect to all of the people, known and unknown. So I very much appreciate your time and that you've decided to join today. So we're going to organize more of these live stream events for people who join a special YouTube membership on which we've just introduced for exclusive content and for these live stream events. So today, I'm not very familiar with how it works exactly, but I'll figure it out. So perhaps you may ask me questions. So today is the time where you can actually talk to me. I'm not sure that you can actually speak here, but you probably can leave certain comments or ask questions in the chat. The main point is spiritual awakening, and again, the main topic is spiritual awakening, understanding spirituality beyond, the known concepts. Some people ask me, what am I trying? What is the purpose of this service or this all that I'm doing? The purpose is to offer a reference point, an example of something that is possible, maybe not for everyone at this point of time. The natural spirituality, the return to natural spirituality, the realization of yoga beyond any concept, beyond any name. And when you realize that, you know all the yogas, all the concepts, all the ideas from within. So you realize all that within yourself. It's called self-born knowledge. So what am I trying to offer is spirituality that could be seen from a certain lens or a perspective or compared to something, but actually has no attributes. It's a frequency. It's a specific vibrational level, and it's the level of integration, alignment between the consciousness and the body within this particular context that we're in within this age. So in terms of spiritual teachings and teachers, we are not here to look for, specific idea or something new or some new appearance. We are here to look for a frequency because the frequency has to speak for itself. The frequency is the cumulative frequency. It's the cumulative vibrational level that one emanates. And it's not about what one says or doesn't say. It's about the frequency and the vibrational level, the presence. And the mastery is or results in this presence. So what this presence does without speaking or through speaking, right? So spiritual teachings and teachers are not for worship, not for any kind of organized religion or cults. A spiritual teacher is supposed to be an example through, and also a vessel through which this their consciousness, their alignment is flowing, so that when they perceive the presence or are around that being, the same higher frequency is invoked within their body, in them. So in this case, then you become the vessel of the same frequency through the connection with the physical teacher. But in reality, if we speak in terms of who is our ultimate teacher or guru, it's our consciousness, it's our higher consciousness, which is the key to creation. So Shaktipat also is not something that is man-made or that is done by intent. It is the presence itself that invokes this higher reality in other people. So I have here now questions, so I'm going to just go along and answer those questions. Can you please clarify how YouTube Shaktipat stream will be different from regular website Shaktipat stream? Yeah, so I'm sharing my knowledge and vibration through Shaktipat stream, which is the main teaching flow. What is on YouTube is additional for exclusive video content and these type of live streams where people who maybe cannot fully support through the normal Shaktipat stream can ask also questions and receive guidance and vibration or specific transmissions. Now, we continue with the normal Shaktipat stream, and all the webinars and retreats and all, they are going to go in the same way as before. So you may additionally subscribe for the YouTube Shaktipat stream special and receive just extra videos and extra live streams. But for those people who are not a part of Shaktipat stream, that's an opportunity to get connected to this vortex and receive something for their spiritual growth and transformation. Okay, next question is, how are solar flares affecting human system? Why in every 12 years solar flares are on rise? Well, why it's how this reality is programmed, but definitely within 12 years every 12 years we're affected. And if you look at different religions and spiritual teachings of the past, they all were tying themselves up to this 12-year cycle, to the lunar cycle and to the solar 12-year cycle. Because every 12 years your soul has a chance to upgrade naturally through the radiation that comes into this matrix, if you will, or this world. So you can receive these transformational rays, and if you're tuned in, you can perceive your growth and change within one life every 12 years. But of course, everyone has their own also personal cycles, which you can see when you look at your Jyotish, at your Vedic astrological chart. There you can see kind of more personalized cycles through which you're going to go through throughout this one life and your potential. Can you explain how sexual energy is transformed through meditative absorption? Sexual energy transformation is not something that you can practice. The more you are withdrawn and detached and less fragmented, especially on the level of intellect, mind, emotions, the more aligned you are with your body, the less energetic loss. Energetic loss doesn't happen through the loss of semen as much as it's propagated. It is lost through the excessive mental, emotional, and intellectual activity. The more you believe in something or disbelieve, fight for something, or you have certain ideologies onto which you hold, or you have some kind of things you do physically or emotionally, that will exhaust you. The higher the intelligence, the less the effort and the less the physical activity. The lower the intelligence, the more physical effort and the more physical activity you need to perform, or the more physical effort to apply to obtain something from this reality. So this is the rule. And sexual energy is conscious energy. When conscious energy is exhausted and you're not reconnected with or connected or reconnected with the higher reality, you are going to be draining and losing vitality, and thus your life will be shortening. You will be aging, depleting yourself, and degrading physically. If you are not losing energy and you know how to conceal yourself, not in the same way through the same presentations as we've been hearing or reading about for the past 6,000 years, but in a different way, in a way of absorption, in a way of cultivating your inner power without too much internal movement. So that will lead to sublimation. And also alchemical transformation. Transformation means enlightenment that will penetrate through all the layers, 7 dhatus, it's known in Ayurveda, Siddha medicine, through all the layers of your body, healing you, aligning you, and eventually enlightening all of your cells. So that's kind of the goal and the way to go. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of reference points for that, but that's how it should be naturally. These achievements and mastery, unfortunately, haven't been there for a while. So, yeah. Can you explain? Okay, sorry. What is the significance of conserving semen for men? Well, you shouldn't indulge in it. It's like using your organs. You shouldn't indulge in anything, but you should be very, very conscious, and yet you shouldn't abstain either. So for men, you have to go with your heart and with your wisdom aligned together, so that will guide you. But there is nothing in constant abstinence in terms of spiritual achievement. If that was the case, you would see all the people flying and being lit up and masters all over. So there are lots of people who are in celibacy and they are unfortunate and do not know the joy of life. So physical abstinence in an extreme way is not recommended. Just be balanced in your life with food, with sexual activity, with emotions, and you won't go wrong. So okay, someone wrote here, I loved it when you spoke about the feminine, and I wanted to ask, what are the core values of a true woman, and as a woman, how to develop spiritual intelligence and intuition? For female species, the path is very different than for males. Males come from a womb, and depending on the quality of that womb and that vessel they came through, will define their path, their journey throughout this physical reality. Because we're dealing with genetic material that we borrow from our parents and bloodlines. And when we hit puberty, around 12, 13, we gain access to the collective pool of ancestral information. That's where most of the people become very emotional and get very imbalanced, because the information, it's not even the information, it's the energy / information that they are perceiving from within during puberty disturbs them, and they don't know that they are at that moment open to much more than they can contain, because it's not just about them, it's about their entire bloodline from the mother's and father's side. So women or girls have to start this preparation from the time of puberty, where they can understand how to transform that ancestral information, dissolve the emotional and mental components, sever the cords and conceal their electromagnetic field or auric field, whichever way you wish to call it, so that they are untouched and so that they can actually cultivate themselves. As long as they're still exposed to that information and don't know how to deal with it, they'll be disturbed despite their intellectual achievements, because a lot of people read books and do all kinds of things and intellectually seem to understand and know everything, but they're not aligned and integrated. So when we speak in terms of spiritual mastery, it's about alignment and integration, your overall vibrational level, how much you are disturbed or undisturbed, how much you handle things, how focused you are, how much effort you apply in every situation, and how much time and energy you have. The more time and energy you have, the richer you are. In terms of longevity, spiritual/sexual creative potency. So when you grow spiritually, you come out of the human context. And so what are the core values of a true woman? This will be clarity, simplicity, focus, determination, ability to accept, ability to nurture, ability to just be, and through her own presence emanate positivity, kindness, benevolence, spread blessings, and be very cautious, not in terms of control, but in terms of wisdom about her ability to direct her anger towards the world. So when a woman is integrated, she's not easily swayed into the direction of anger. So, but she has very high potentiality to bless or to curse. The core values come from peace, from contentment in a truly aligned woman, rather than they come from some kind of mental, emotional, or intellectual space. An integrated being, whether a man or a woman, is not the one who wants to help or do anything. They are there, content within themselves. Yet help and service are flowing out of them effortlessly. So this is the difference between people who intend to do something. Yet these people who are integrated value their time more than anything, because time is energy. So that's something to think about. For a woman, the most important is to understand her being throughout the menstruation or the menstrual cycle. And because the menstrual cycle is a great natural tool and ability to refine her bloodline, ancestral energy information, release it during those times, and transmute her own being through that release. So that's what I'm trying to convey and teach to those who are a part of this Shaktipat stream, and in general, all the females who come to me. Because before you normalize your menstrual cycle, before you realize your own power through that balance, before you integrate yourself, you cannot understand that natural way of existing, being spiritual, but not in an intellectual way, just more of a being. You will always go into extremes. You'll be very emotionally unstable. You will be easily swayed, easily persuaded. So the core value is to be that core for yourself and for the society through that alignment, to be grounded so that you're not easily swayed or persuaded or controlled. So how to develop spiritual intelligence only through being in absorption, because when you're in a state of absorption, real absorption, you see what is what, you see what is right, what is wrong within yourself. You learn how to work with your reactions, you learn how to discern between your own being, natural being, authentic being, and the ancestral information, all the acquired information, all these different emotions that you are dealing with, the emotions that don't even belong to you, but they are within your ancestral pool. So the more you let go of that information, dissolve it, transmute it, the more peace and bliss and alignment dawns on you. And that is but a natural intelligence. So in that peaceful space, you start simply knowing without effort. So, okay, another question. Do you think it is possible in this Kali Yuga to attain Siddha Shariram through Kaya Kalpa? Okay, let me a little bit decipher what Siddha Shariram and through Kaya Kalpa. Again, we all come from different backgrounds and all are conceptualized. We think there is duality, non-duality, different concepts, different yogas. There's nothing of that in reality. There is only either alignment or not, either life or death. And death means only energetic, because life is eternal. As long as you're holding on to the eternal essence of yourself, life, you live forever. Now, in terms of Vedic traditions and Siddha traditions, Siddha Sharira means perfect body. It's the same as light body or rainbow body or Kaya Siddhi, also known as a perfected body. Kaya Kalpa is the science of rejuvenation. Now, a lot of people speak about rejuvenation, all this anti-aging diet and lifestyle. It's not enough. Diet and lifestyle is not enough. What's the most important and the secret ingredient that I've been trying to convey for years to people who have ears to hear and eyes to see is your connection with the inexhaustible source of energy, which means higher existence, which means that level of consciousness that exists in a different time and space continuum, but which is still relevant for this time and space continuum. And when you integrate, you receive much more energy and thus time. So that spectrum of frequency and energy that is gradually dawning or entering your body and transmuting it gradually will allow you to heal, first of all. Heal meaning balance all the systems, organs, and layers of the body. These layers in Ayurveda and Siddha medicine are known as dhatus, 7 dhatus, or 7 layers or sheaths of the embodiment. So when that high level of radiation, of frequency, existence is aligned with the physical vessel and penetrates through all the layers, provided the emotional, mental, intellectual residue is dissolved, every cell of your body will transmute. The DNA will, mutate in a positive way, meaning it will be freed from the corrupt ancestral information, and all your physical cells will start vibrating differently. So after healing, balancing, you will start regenerating, because the process of energy spending will be slower than, or I don't know how to say, but you basically will be regenerating faster than you are losing energy, or the loss of energy will be minimal, so the regeneration process will take over. Once you start regenerating, you will start rejuvenating. At some point, you can rejuvenate to a specific point, and then you can continue, maintain that level of energy preservation, and that will make you ageless. After that, you decide your path, because then your will is freed from the emotional, mental, and intellectual limitations or components or man-made reality. And then you, as an entity, as a spiritual being, decide or define your own path further. You come out of the imprints. So whether you want to dissolve your body, whether you want to continue living for thousands of years, whether you want to exit the body, or do whatever you want, that's a different point. So do I think, is it possible? In Kali Yuga, not, but we are, as I already posted the video in 2023 and earlier in early 2013, 14, I was talking about that we are at the very end of this age, Kali Yuga or Iron Age, the lowest point in our cycle. So between 2020 and 2027, this is the very end. And between 2025 and 2027 is the time of Antichrist, which is, shout out to Professor Hillman, who talks about it. I very highly recommend his channel, because he translated accurately the ancient writings. So Lady Babylon. And you know, this is the time of antidote. Antichrist means antidote, antidote to all the conceptual, limited, dogmatic spirituality, religions, political systems, economic systems. So this is the end. This is the dissolution. This is the very antidote to all this demonic age. Demonic because it led to dispersion. It led to loss of creative potential, because we divided and dispersed as the original soul from the beginning of cycle. We dispersed and divided due to this very factor that we started pursuing things within the limited reality. And for that reason, we started worshipping, meaning giving our energy elsewhere. So there was no possibility of preserving your life, because your life was extorted, exhausted onto these pursuits. In addition to that, we developed Saturnian religions, or we call them satanic, which is all religions of the world at the moment, and all spiritual cults that belong to that. All of them are part of it. All this cabal is going to dissolve, because natural spirituality does not require anything but the internal connection with the higher reality. And through that you grow. So when you reconnect with that, that's your opportunity to realize something in reality, in your physical body, that which I'm talking about. But until then, you know, we're still in this age, even at the very end, and it doesn't mean that even though it all is getting exposed now, all this ritualistic spirituality, all this corruption is being exposed, the change is going to take a lot of years, hundreds and thousands of years. But the seeds are planted in this very moment. So for some very, very limited individuals, very, very few in this world, probably less than fingers on both hands, perhaps it is a possibility to attain some type of spiritual mastery where it can be visible in the physical body, because the physical body is the fruit and the consciousness is the root. So it all depends on the level of consciousness. You can fool people through different words. You can speak about techniques and all the spirituality of action. But the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the very body. You cannot fool creation. You cannot fool consciousness, and you cannot fool the body. So that should be a clue. Please wait with your questions. I might miss some of them. Does the shape of Earth matters for spiritual growth? It matters for your intellect. Whatever it is, it's entertaining, but for spiritual growth, it may matter to a degree, but not to that degree. I mean, how does it matter for you this time? What matters is the quality of life, how you perceive life this very moment. If you don't perceive life in a balanced way, it means you're suffering. It means you're emotionally imbalanced, you're depressed, you're anxious or restless. So that's poor quality of life, no matter the shape of the earth. How are the core values and path of a man different, if at all? It all has to be integrated. Certainly, a person who has transcended human context might not be emotional, but they won't be psychopathic or narcissistic or abusive. And so it doesn't mean that they'll practice anything on purpose or voluntarily or to prove anyone anything, but they will be naturally nonviolent, yet they will have huge potential to defend themselves if needed. That's kind of an idea for you. So spiritual intelligence is that which maintains or shapes the core values from within. So the more you are spiritually intelligent, the more humble you are and the more potent you are. And when you're content, you can't violate anyone. You don't need anyone's energy or to persuade anyone or control anyone. So that should be the answer. Is it energy that we receive from the higher self, or is it intelligence? Energy, intelligence, time is one and the same thing. In medical science, there's something known as the Hayflick limit, which determines how many times a cell can multiply before the telomeres at the end of chromosomes are depleted. Yeah, that's because the research is based on an average human who has no capacity to regenerate or has lost this capacity. Now, the same science also proved that genetically we have to live at least 500 years. Do you expect society to collapse by 2030, or is it more of an energetic shift that will slowly dissolve the current systems? The energetic shift happened already 300 years ago, and we're still in the process of transmutation. So there will be slow dismantling, and new systems and ideas will be proposed, but it's going to take time. The most important is that all that we know of entertainment industry, political elite, that will be very clearly dismantled. And I've already talked about it in the prophecy around, I believe, July 2023. Maybe I'll put the video link there to that video. Watch it. It's not only political, it's also all this spiritual puppetry and clownade, all these new age teachers, gurus, religious leaders and all who are in the same cabal, who are propagating the same delusion to people. So the prophecy touches them, not because I say so, but because it is their vibration whose time is over, and creation annihilates that which doesn't match, the right time. Whatever is the cycle, a specific cycle means it's a specific vibrational level. So whatever doesn't match that vibrational level just is annihilated, dismantled, dissolved by time itself. And time is the specific vibrational level in which we exist. So yeah, whatever doesn't match this current level that is coming and that we are kind of emanating here. So whatever doesn't match that will be dismantled. It doesn't matter that it's not an individual thing. It's not someone is targeted or hated. No, it's because they do not match anymore the predominant vibration. And still there are places, geographical locations where frequency is lower, but the cumulative level of vibration will slowly grow in every area, and eventually the cycle will ascend, or we will ascend through this upward cycle. Okay, someone is talking again about rejuvenation, regeneration. Do you think it is possible to reverse this damage through meditation? Well, that's what I'm saying. What is cultivation? Cultivation is when you are absorbed. So when you are absorbed, definitely you don't lose energy. And so there is enough energy to start regenerating. Otherwise, your system, your body is constantly fighting inflammation and degeneration of cells and toxicity that is caused by the presence of parasitic energy, which is worms, which is fungi, which is chemicals and all kinds of genetically modified pathogens, pathogenic nanoparticles, etc. So when you, let's say, try to eat as healthily as possible and lead a more or less pure lifestyle, that's still not enough. You have to have that energetic capacity which will trigger detoxification, and the detoxification will be happening faster. That's what happens when you have a real Kundalini or spiritual awakening, because your glands, as I described it very clearly in the series of Siddha Parampara books, your glands will shift. The glandular, the metabolic function will shift to a different mode where your detoxification process is faster than your degenerative process. So you will be detoxifying faster, and thus you will be able to regenerate faster. And again, regeneration is only secondary, because at first you need to balance and heal yourself, and that means you have to allow all those damaged areas in the body, organs and systems to heal first before you start actually visibly regenerating and reaching some kind of level where you stop aging. The end of Kali Yuga means the dawn of enlightenment is here. No, it doesn't mean that. It's darkest before the dawn. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Well, all of these people are, no offense, they belong to Kali Yuga and they resonate with Kali Yuga. Whoever says what, always question, are they dead or they're alive? Are they immortal? What are they talking about? What was the condition of their body? The end of Kali Yuga does not mean the dawn of enlightenment. It means that at the moment we're at the very, very difficult predicament and time where there is a lot of churning happening, and where it is extremely difficult to be authentic or remain authentic and remain spiritually aligned, because there's a lot of disturbance. Yet if you manage to align and remain yourself aligned and concealed in this age, your mastery will be unmatched, and you will achieve something that your predecessors might have not achieved. Yet this is not an egoic challenge or some kind of an ambitious task. It is just for your own balance and an increase of quality of life. For the majority of people, it's not any dawn. It is the agony. It's the time of agony where all your ancestral information is coming to the surface, and you have to deal with it. Even if you refused, even if you escaped into all kinds of limited, nonsensical spiritual, I would call them outlets, even when you try to entertain yourself and engage into something spiritual without any results, just to escape your mundane reality, this is the very time which will bring you back to this mundane reality and will dip your nose into that ancestral stuff, all the emotions, if you're really willing to ascend and experience awakening. Experience awakening means that you are in the state of yoga. Now you can see clearly your own natural being without any attributes, without any, context. And you also very clearly see what you're not, which is still within you, or you have access to that ancestral information. So now, before you establish yourself in that yoga, you are to look at all these things which are not yours, and you are to dissolve them. And that's what I'm teaching. That's what I'm trying to help people navigate through, because it's not easy. Other than that, you can cultivate absorbed state, but without any intoxication, without any psychedelics, without any back doors, sexual abuses or drugs or any kind of spirituality of this demonic age that has been based on energy extortions, taking sexual energy from someone else, or manipulating people into giving you that energy voluntarily, or into any kind of ritualistic manipulations, black magic, etc., etc. So all the people who haven't achieved mastery could have spoken about whatever. The result is one and the same for all of them, which was unexpected death, or which was unnatural death. Death means through decay, disease, aging. So even though this is all just a dream, then ascension is just a dream as well. In a way, everything is a dream. It depends on which time and space continuum you're speaking from, and what is your own reality and how you perceive quality of life. We are meant to enjoy in this dream, but you can enjoy only when you are balanced from within. Then you can't just, you're not pushed by obsessions. If you choose something or you don't choose it, you're still enjoying, because the joy is from within. That's the joy of contentment. That is the joy of real awakening. And this is the beginning of the real awakening and the result of the real awakening, where even when you go through all kinds of sufferings and all kinds of facing of all your ancestral stuff, emotions, thoughts, ideas, concepts, beliefs, you're able to let them go. You're able to dissolve them, to sever the cords and conceal your space of consciousness. Then you return again to the contentment and bliss, but now permanently, without fluctuation. That's called mastery. So it's not a dream for your body, because the body will enjoy that. But from the higher standpoint, everything is temporary and everything is valid only to a specific time and space continuum. Okay, I was reading about a study done in Tel Aviv University on hyperbaric oxygen therapy. The study showed that, okay, I didn't see the question. What's your opinion on this? Can one get a similar effect through pranayama? Again, in the Yoga Sutras Patanjali commentary book, which is on Amazon, I've given an absolutely clear understanding of pranayama. It has nothing to do with physical breathing techniques. And can it be achieved through pranayama? Pranayama is the outcome of spiritual awakening, where you can control and observe and perceive the flow energy within. You can direct it or abstain from directing. That is pranayama. Read the real commentary, the real understanding of what that was what Patanjali transmitted, so you are not deluded by all kinds of yogic misinterpretations by people who are not vessels of that yoga themselves and who haven't gone through any awakening. Now, pranayama, along with all other levels that or depths of absorption that Patanjali mentioned, is just a level of transmutation. The more you transmute yourself, the more you absorb this, sadly, your breath becomes, you don't need to control it, it's just natural. So whether you practice or not, it all comes down to Amanaska Yoga, which is the absorption, when your body and consciousness are in alignment. So the longer you are in that alignment, not by force, voluntarily, but naturally, the more you are transmuting, the more you are rejuvenating, or first healing and then rejuvenating. I found that some of my ancestors did some terrible things, and terrible things happened to them. What can I do to heal them? You cannot do anything, but you can deal with that information on an energetic level. After all, it's all imprinted in the genetic material. So sometimes when you wake up and you suddenly feel some kind of imbalance in your chakras or in your centers or in your body in general, deal with the reactions, feelings, work with them. I have instructed my students how to work, how to refine, how to release these energetic blockages, energetic contractions, you may say impediments within one's nervous system, and how to break through. So, yeah, you may join Shaktipat stream or just ask me by email, or maybe also join YouTube, this live stream sessions. We can discuss more about it in future. Or Invoking Reality, again, we offer free charitable events, Invoking Reality, for everyone who is interested, several times a year, and you can, ask questions there and get some instructions. The very tangible energy in the spine gets sometimes stuck in the head. What is your advice? The advice is to focus on the lower areas, the pelvis and abdominal area. And when you normally rhythmically breathe, exhale into that area, into the abdominal area, into the pelvic area. Do it several times and see if there is change. Also do salt baths. Take a bucket of warm water, add sea salt, and charge that water. Pour it on your head with the intention to clear all the energetic blockages. You may also consider a specific Rudraksha, 9-faced Nepal origin Rudraksha, either as a rosary or kanta. That can also improve the circulation of energy in the body, especially if it happens during meditative absorption or when you are tuning in and having kriyas. But if you allow kriyas to happen when you're not leaning back, just sitting in a comfortable position, and kriyas will start happening, some movements or anything, when you're completely relaxed. So have an intention to clear that blockage. You may also book a one-on-one with me, and I can work with you energetically so that we can clear up those blockages. Thank you. Can you please throw some light on this phenomenon of Amrita Soma mentioned in Yoga? You can see the texts, certainly. I have experienced it several times in meditation. Well, when we experience real awakening, we sometimes reach the point where especially it's connected to the full moon time. And when your vibration is very high, you may sometimes experience the dripping of a nectar from behind your nasal cavity, which is connected to the brain. And this is a secretion of the pituitary gland, which can enhance your meditative states, but also goes into your body, kind of spreads all over the body. But yet, it's not just about the physical nectar, it's just about the overall vibrational level. It's not just about to experience one time or two times. Whether you have it clearly coming or not, when there is transmutation, there will be change in the body. If you are connected to the higher reality, all your glands will shift and will become will work in a different mode, so that your body will start transmuting. That means that you are receiving that so-called amrita, or the elixir of life, which is your higher consciousness being aligned with the body. Now, in terms of the word soma, it's a bit different. Again, we are speaking about the confusion between the different ages, where the Amrita was an immortal state of existence, and Soma is already coming as a kind of a bridge between the physical reality and one's impossibility of connecting to the higher reality, unless through some kind of techniques, rituals, or ingestion of some kind of stimulants, herbal concoctions, preparations, and basically drugs. Because the past 6,000 years, our spirituality actually degraded to the point where we could not generate high vibrational energy within the body, and so we regress to the vampiric existence, where we always need someone else's energy. That's where black magic was born from, or vampiric type of spirituality, where drugs, sexual rights, exploitation, and other such perversive acts were performed in order to supposedly gain immortality or prolong life, because, as you know, in Kali Yuga, lifespan declined. And so people resorted to all kinds of atrocities that we see are coming now up to the surface. But they're not just from today, they've been practiced for thousands of years. All these cases with political elite, entertainment elite, which are being now exposed, it's just coming up because of the end of the times, this time, but it's been for over 6,000 years practiced. All these abuses, all these things have been there for a very, very, very long time. And someone energy was extorted, or someone was used for someone else's privileges, or to gain fame, monetary gains, etc., conquest, conquering nations, etc. Again, I spoke about it in the previous webinar and been speaking about it throughout many years to my students and Shaktipat stream supporters. And no matter whether you agree with certain things or disagree, the reality is that what you see. And whether we want to deal with it or not, it hits us at some point, because we are to become realistic about, first of all, the world we're living in, before we start looking into some kind of idealistic ideas, or projecting something unrealistic about onto reality. So, so the soma that you mentioned here, again, if you look at it, it could mean that it is something, it is the result of yoga and awakening, or it could be seen as concoction of different venoms and poisons and herbs etc., processed in a particular way. Also, it could mean the result of copulation with women, etc., but I'm not going to extend on this. So we spoke about it during our last webinar. Is Bhakti Yoga still valid for ascension, like worshipping Shiva or Krishna? First of all, we need to identify who that is. What's valid for ascension is your reconnection with a higher being, which means a higher state of existence, which you cultivate within yourself. How you call it, how you attribute to it, which philosophical ideas you pursue matter much less than your current being as it is, your vibrational level now. How to experience true love and manifest true divine counterpart. You are to be true divine counterpart. You experience true love. The more you let go of all kinds of distortions, emotional baggage, the more your idea of love changes and ascends and transcends. The actual love, the high frequency of love, again, there are lots of videos I posted on this topic in the playlist of best relationship advice. You can see there. The high frequency of love is very difficult to talk about, but that's an emanation. That's an emanation of aligned state of being. When you are in yoga, you are love. In that state of contentment, bliss, and kind of freedom from codependence on anything from the projected reality, you are pleasant. People around you feel peace. They're drawn to you. They think you are love. You are lovable in that state. So the more you cultivate that, the more you're open to attracting the right person. But if you are still having traumas, if you're still having a lot of unrefined ancestral stuff in you, that might attract people through whom you will be, reflecting your that unrefined stuff, who will be reflecting your corruption or corrupt patterns or trauma back to you so that you can deal with it. So in order to have that ideal type of relationship, divine relationship, divine, again, it's an interesting word because it comes from divine, divine, from wine, right? Again, going back to our perverted type of spirituality that has been based on indulgence and intoxication. But nevertheless, in order to be really beautifully, joyful, in a balanced way, intoxicated with the right partner, you are to become that right partner yourself from within. You are to vibrate that purity and also free yourself from judgment, free yourself from limitations, and at the same time be very conscious who you're connecting with. So that becomes, relationship in that sense becomes a very important part for spiritual evolution, especially in the very advanced stages, because you have to be very spiritually advanced in order to be able to grow and understand the value of a relationship and have that relationship with the right partner. When you're longing, when you're still feeling difficult, when you're by yourself, or you experience this kind of imbalances, they're most probably the imbalances of your mother or father or other ancestors, and you're to refine them first. You're to become content in your being first. Then you're ready to attract the right partner. Anyways, if you want to work on that, you can work with me or get more guidance by email or through one-on-one. Thank you. Does absorbed state also transmutes the place where we live or work? Well, when your vibrational level changes, you definitely start emanating differently. You might even want to change the place if it's not matching your vibration, or you may want to renovate it or maybe replace certain things, change overall. Why do some people who don't match our energy keep repelling us for no reason? Well, why is irrelevant. It's just because your vibrational match, your vibrational level doesn't match them, and you just maybe invoke some kind of energy in them which they do not want to experience, so they um, just go away. And if you're wise enough, you just welcome these kind of changes. Does being absorbed attract right people over time? Well, right for your vibration depends on your level. I mean, there aren't so many aligned people, but closer to your alignment level, you will attract definitely. And again, it's up to you who you entertain. Depends on your wisdom. So, how does absorption now external reality go together? Well, that's where the question of mastery arises, because you're supposed to get aligned, because at the very beginning you will have extremely deep samadhi states and people think that they're enlightened already. That's probably the biggest mistake meaning it will take you into detours, unfortunately, because uh, you know that's the lack of humility and maturity and wisdom. When the person experiences deep samadhis and blissful states and assumes that they are already enlightened, they don't need anything, this is actually a transitory beginner stage where eventually it will all start unraveling. Everything you've been sweeping under the rug, everything your bloodlines have been sweeping under the rug, will start coming up to the surface, and so you would need to deal with that. And so absorption should not become an obstacle, but at the beginning it can be so. It is quite a challenge to make yourself, let's say, when you're in a very absorbed, deep meditative state, to actually get up and clean, or get up and fulfill your duties and do your chores. So that will be something that is the first level where you can start integrating yourself and learn to kind of do all these tasks while still being absorbed. And then the next level would be perhaps, again, there are no levels, it's just like I would present it this way. Let's say when you deal with your relatives or in relationships emotionally, again, can you remain absorbed while, or you're getting challenged? A very deep absorbed state, like nothing and no one can challenge you. So that's some kind of an ultimate state. But you may still get out of yourself, and you can probably at the beginning still be angry or challenged. So you have to work with these challenges with your personal reactions mostly. You can't work with other people's reactions. You can only work with your own reactions. And these reactions indicate that corrupt, limited information within you that you are to transmute. So, again, some people transmute it in a very fast way. It would be about 12 years. For some people, it's many cycles of 12 years. It's going back to the first question about 12 cycle. Again, once you awaken, this is more relevant, because all your transmutations will be aligned with the lunar and solar cycles and other planetary cycles at first, because you're learning to work with these energies and you're learning to understand the matrix, the way it's encoded, all these planetary energies, and then you're going beyond it. When you went beyond it, you're a master. You aligned and you go beyond the direct impact. But again, as long as you're in the society, as long as you're in this world, other people are still subjected to these energies, and the impact may be indirect, but through other people and overall worldly circumstances, events, etc. So thank you very much for all the time and effort. Okay, my blessings to you. What's your opinion on archons? Well, I don't have any opinion about anything. I know things. I experienced life through human senses, but also experienced creation, through contemplation, meditation. I don't know how to say. If I need to know something, I will. You know, this creation is very rich and vast, and it has all kinds of emanations, energetic representations, levels, etc. So the more we focus within and on our body, the more we realize the essence, that spirituality, which is natural spirituality, organic spirituality, spirituality of no attributes, no concepts, no beliefs, but direct experience of existence. And then gradually become the vessel of it. When you become the vessel of it, you are entering in a new yuga, at least for yourself. You become the pioneer, which will drag the entire humanity. So this is a transmission of this high existence. This is a moment of awakening for those souls for whom it is the time. Whatever is yours cannot be taken from you. Through this powerful transmission, experience balance, experience awakening, yoga, absorption. All are just different words for one and the same phenomenon. Experience higher levels of awakening. A shift that will allow you to dissolve deeper, subtler corruption, corrupt patterns, distortions and limitations of your ancestors, planetary limitations, occult restrictions and limitations. Dissolve the energy of the past, which is past negative transmissions, past curses, ancestral debts. You will realize what you are indebted to, and you will release that. You will dissolve that and realize your lessons from each and every situation, whether you were there physically or not, but energetically you will realize, you will connect the dots. Shaktipat is the grace of the high existence, high reality, which is emanating through a vessel and invoking the same reality and connection with the higher being within other bodies without any intent or will. That's why it's the purest Shaktipat, the grace of creation itself, the activation of that which is called Mother Consciousness, Father Consciousness, Guru Consciousness. Perfect Siddha Consciousness, immortal consciousness, one and the same phenomenon again. If you can awake or stay awake through these vibrations, you'll be growing. You'll be revitalizing, you'll be balancing, you will be regenerating. Healing and integrating that higher reality in this physical being. all your glands, the spiritual heart, the pituitary pineal, the crown, thymus gland, the physical heart, the solar plexus, and the physical root, the lower abdominal area, sexual organs, all will be aligned. You'll breathe lighter, your auric field will be purified of all the dark attachments, and the cords with these dark attachments are severed now. This is a very return to authenticity, to your source, the restoration of the link, long lost link between the higher, immortal, timeless existence and the limited, transitory, physical being. And the yoga, the real yoga, the alignment, the yoga that doesn't need a title before it, that deep alignment and integration. Whoever is against the truth, against this alignment, is destroyed, dissolved, annihilated, because this is the law of creation. It dissolves everything which is limited, sooner or later, even if it's in 6,000, 7,000 or more years. For creation, which is timeless, there is no time. It is the source of all time. And time continuums. Whoever found time to participate in this event live, whatever you're struggling with, all your obstacles, enemies, disruptions will be removed from your path, dissolved and annihilated, because your frequency level changed. You'll experience healing, regeneration, and balance, grounding, and inner joy that will allow you to build healthy relationships, remain prosperous, abundant, joyful, content, and healthy. I would like to thank you all for participating today. This is the first experience. Thank you for donating. All your support is highly appreciated. If you feel called, you can join YouTube membership. We'll have more such live streams. And if you feel called to learn and to have more close interaction and learning teaching experience with me through Shaktipat stream, you may join Shaktipat stream on siddhakundaliniyoga.com. Thank you very much. Be blessed, be protected by your own high awareness, and cultivate humility, simplicity, and joy. Thank you very much. Blessings to all of you. Be well. Till next time.